morning, students. Today we are going to see one of the questions in your board exam. That's a comprehension exercise. A comprehension exercise. This usually the question number 3. The first is a composition. Question 1 is a composition writing, and question 2 is letter writing and email and notice writing. And next question, question 3 is a comprehension. Now, a comprehension is a passage that is given to you. It can be a prose piece or a poetry piece, or a small poem or a small prose piece. And a test is given based on the passage or the poem that is given there. Now there is a purpose for it, and this is basically to test your understanding of English language. So this is basically, comprehension is basically a test of your understanding of English language or your level of understanding. Okay. Now, this unseen passage that is given to you, or this unseen poem that is given to you, is, I said, it's termed as a comprehension. Why comprehension? Comprehension because it comes from the word to comprehend. Comprehend. To comprehend. What does to comprehend means? To understand. Right? Comprehend means to understand. And from there we have the noun form of it, comprehension. Alright? Comprehension therefore means is understanding. Okay? So therefore, it is a test on your understanding ability of a particular language. Therefore, a comprehension exercise is a test on your understanding So you can define this exercise or this question as an exercise to test your knowledge or your understanding level or your mastery of a particular language. Why did I say a particular language? Because this is not only given in learning of English, but this is given, this particular exercise is given whenever you are undergoing any language course, whether it be any foreign language or an Indian language or any local vernacular that you are learning. In all of these, you shall find this particular exercise, comprehension exercise, to test your understanding level of that particular language. And in this learning process that we are learning English, alright, and in this therefore it is meant to test your understanding level of English language. Alright, so that is basically the definition or and the purpose of this particular exercise or this particular question in your board exam. Okay, now I shall explain to you how this assessment or this evaluation or this test is done. So basically you are given a passage which is unseen and you have not studied it previously. It doesn't come from your textbook. So it may be taken from a magazine or an article in some publication, or it may be taken extract from a book or a short story or a poem and so on. So whatever it be, it's an unseen passage. An unseen passage is given to you and you are asked to read the passage and to answer the questions that are given below the passage. Alright, so you have to understand the passage and then attempt the questions that follows it. Alright, the questions that follow. That's the exercise. Okay, so there are various aspects of language is tested. And the first exercise that is to test your vocabulary. What is the meaning of vocabulary? Vocabulary means your word power. Vocabulary means your word power. Alright? In other words, how many words, meanings do you really know? And when we talk about words, we have two types of words. One is the recognition vocabulary, we call it. That is when we see the word in a book or in a passage or in an extract, we recognize it as something that we have known previously. And then there is what is called the active vocabulary. Active vocabulary includes all those words that we usually use in our regular speech and writing. Okay. So if it belongs to either the recognition vocabulary or your active vocabulary, you shall be able to answer. In other words, word meanings. This you have to answer the word meaning. Alright? Word meanings. At this level, that means class 10 level, you are asked to give the meaning of given words in your own words. Alright? Like for instance, in your exercise or in your exam, you shall get 3 words. 3 words. 3 words are given to you, and you are asked to give the meaning of it in one word or in a few words. Alright? So that is a test on your vocabulary, direct meaning. There are other ways of testing your vocabulary as well. They can, you can go for a multiple choice question. What is usually known as MCQs. That is, options are given to you. Now let's say I give one word. One word is given to you. Word is given to you, and then against it you are given 3 or 4 options, and you are asked to select one of these, whichever you think is the right answer. Okay. For possible meanings are given, and out of that, only one is definitely correct, and you are asked to select one. But for your examination purpose in your class 10 level, at present at least, they are asking you to give the meaning of the given words, 3 words taken from the passage are given or listed, 1, 2, 3, and you are asked to give the meaning of it. Alright? It can be a meaning can be in a single word, or it can be in a few words. Both are accepted. Okay. So that is the first test that we have for your English language or comprehension test. And second question is a setup. Secondly, you are given short answer questions. Alright. Secondly, about 4 to 5 short questions are given, or questions are given for which the answer should be brief. Short answers. Short answers should be given to each of these questions. And the purpose of it is very simple. Obviously, it is to test whether you have understood the subject matter discussed in the passage. Alright? With that in mind, you have a short answer questions. Then a third question that is set is for you is a summary. Alright? And the third part of this comprehension for your class 10 level consists of writing a summary. In other words, a question is given to you and you are asked to summarize that. It's not the entire passage, not the, usually it is not the summary of the entire passage, but most commonly it is the summary of maybe a couple of paragraphs or the basic idea or the gist of the passage. You summarize that in a given number of words. And the word limit for this is, for your class 10 level is 50 words. So you summarize this in about 50 words. So the purpose basic obviously is if you have understood the main theme of this particular passage or not. That is the purpose of this exercise. Alright? So this is an exercise, as I told you, we have been doing, let's say from smaller classes onwards, and we have been often calling it as unseen passage. And then we used to answer these type of questions earlier. But now you have an understanding of what is the purpose of this particular test. Is that clear? So this is an introduction to your question 3 or your comprehension test. Okay? We shall take up one or two comprehension passages in our next lesson. Alright? Until then, stay safe